Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to be diving into the top 5 teams for the Ultra League, guys. Ultra League and Ultra League Remix are right around the corner as we wrap up Great League and Great League Remix. I thought, why not get you guys prepared for what's to come with the Ultra League? Now, we are on PV Poke here, guys, and they don't quite have the top 5 teams for the remix, but that should be coming soon. So what we're gonna do is have a look here. So if you're on your phone, you just go to those 3 bars at the top there. You just tap on top performers, and we are gonna scroll right down here and have a look at the top teams in the Ultra League. Let's have a look here. That's Great League. We don't want Great League. We've had enough of Great League at this point, haven't we, guys? Let's check out the Ultra League. Man, been having a lot of fun with the Great League, but I gotta say, guys, I am ready for the Ultra League to come around. I've got a nice Greedent that I'm looking to power up for the Ultra League. Greedent's going to be pretty good. But we've got the top teams here, top performing teams. So the first team is, you guessed it, Shadow Machamp lead, Talonflame, and Umbreon in the back. So this is a very powerful team, guys. If you lose lead with Machamp, Umbreon is going to be your safe swap, guys. And you'll want to, draw out any Charmers, because then you can come right back in with Talonflame and take care of those Charmers. Oftentimes you can just farm right down. You might have to expend a shield, but you will have loaded energy for whatever they decide to bring back in. So this is a very powerful team. As you can see, it's quite far over the 500 threshold here. So if you're over 500, that means that this team wins more often than it loses. As you can see right here, guys, 620.7. So that is very good. So guys, if you have a Shadow Machamp built for the Ultra League, and maybe you happen to have some XLs in Talonflame and Umbreon, you've got the #1 best team according to PV Poke, guys. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if this team necessarily matches my particular playstyle, but I know that a lot of people have had success with this because you see a lot of Obstagoon leads. Obstagoon is probably the most common lead that you'll see in the Ultra League, right behind Giratina Altered. So let's have a quick peek here at the most common leads. And wow, actually Talonflame is the most common lead, and Shadow Machamp actually has a really good matchup up against Talonflame. As you can see, Talonflame, they're not showing it, but Talonflame does actually lose to Shadow Machamp, guys, and you can win that matchup actually going straight cross drop, believe it or not. That's how broken Shadow Machamp is. Broken in a really good way, I would say, guys. It's incredibly powerful, very terrifying depending on what you have, what type of team comp you have. Shadow Machamp is right up there with the most terrifying Pokemon. The battle starts and you see that red-eyed, four-armed, bodybuilder looking fighting type Pokemon there, and the lead just staring down at you. It's pretty terrifying, but yeah. So I don't see a ton of Talonflame leads, I'm going to be honest, guys. The most common lead that I see, Abomasnow is pretty common. Shadow Machamp, as you can imagine, does beat Abomasnow, but the most common lead that I see is Obstagoon. They've got Scrafty here at number 12. Shadow Machamp has an excellent matchup up against Scrafty as well with that dark typing. You just pummel right through those Scrafty leads. If you're met with a Giratina Altered lead, like I said, guys, you're going to want to safe swap. I guess you could play it out a little bit, maybe try and get off a couple of Rock Slides, but you're not going to want to stay in that matchup, especially if they're running Dragon Breath. That's just going to eat away at Shadow Machamp. So you could either, if you're met with a Giratina Altered lead, you could go into Umbreon, but then they'll probably just swap in a Cresselia, which Umbreon does have a good matchup up against Cresselia. So it's up to you as to what you want to swap into a Giratina Altered. Greedent's a pretty good lead. So Shadow Machamp has really good matchups up against the most common leads according to PB Poke that you might see. Look at this, guys. Lapras. Are you kidding me? Shadow Machamp just runs right through most of these common leads that they say. Berserker, it's a steel type. Shadow Machamp just would pummel right through these leads. The only ones you'll have trouble with really are Giratina Altered, I would say. Maybe a Defense Form Deoxys, as we can see here, but those aren't as common, guys, as Defense Deoxys does not do well, as you can see, up against the most common legendaries that you will see in the Open Ultra League, that being Cresselia and Giratina Altered. As you can see, it has some key losses there, so I haven't seen too many Defense Form Deoxys in the Open Ultra League, guys. But if you do, that's why you've got Umbreon in the back. Umbreon can absolutely take care of Defense Form Deoxys. So yeah, guys, get it back to the other tab here. Shadow Machamp, Umbreon, and Talonflame. Super high-powered team, guys. I do have a Shadow Machamp. You guys probably already know. I do have a good one. I think it's a rank 56 for the Ultra League. I just haven't gotten around to building it. Maybe I'll build it this season. I am sitting on quite a bit of Stardust, but I've been saving my Stardust for some other projects. I want to power up some legendaries for the Master League. I definitely want to invest in a Greedent, and that is not cheap. That's almost 500k dust, but I think I have enough to power up my Shadow Machamp. Finally, it is very OP, guys. So that is the number one team according to PB Poke. Shadow Machamp, Talonflame, and Umbreon in the back, guys. With Umbreon primarily serving as your safe swap. Because if we go back here and we check out safe swaps, you're gonna see that Umbreon is actually ranked pretty high as a safe swap. So G-Fisk, number one safe swap there. Mandibuzz, yeah, Umbreon is in the top 25 for safe swaps. And Talonflame has phenomenal closing potential. So primarily with this team, guys, you will be using Umbreon as your safe swap. And bring back in Shadow Machamp, get those shields down with those high-powered cross-chops, and then you're looking at a good close with Talonflame, guys. Of course, running Brave Bird, Flame Charge, and Incinerate is your fast move, guys. So yeah, Umbreon is a top 25 safe swap. That's what you'll want to be using as your safe swap. And yeah, hopefully you rack up the wins with it. And as we can see, coming in second, guys, is Talonflame, Abomasnow, and Umbreon. We're seeing kind of a trend here, aren't we, guys? But yeah, so this team, you're actually going to be leading Talonflame with Abomasnow and Umbreon. So again, with this team, guys, Umbreon is again going to be your safe swap, and Abomasnow is a very, very strong closer in the Open Ultra League. Of course, depending on the scenario, not everything always goes, picture perfect in Pokemon Go Battle League, as you all may already know. So you might end up closing with Talonflame, but between Abomasnow and Talonflame, those are both fantastic closers. If you get a bad lead, let's say you get like a Melmetal. Melmetal, believe it or not, although it is a steel type, actually does have a very good matchup up against Talonflame. If we have a look here, let's see, Melmetal does beat Talonflame, I believe, guys. We're gonna punch it in and confirm that. Wow, Melmetal ranked 123. I wonder why. But yeah, it doesn't show. But yeah, it's saying that it beats Charizard. So if it can beat Charizard, guys, you better believe it can beat a Talonflame as well. You just outpace it. You outpace it to those rock slides. Similar to like if you think Open Great League, as you may know, G-Fisk does beat Talonflame. Same difference with Melmetal, guys, because you're running Thundershock, which is a clone of Mudshot, so you're just going to, which is what G-Fisk runs, so you're going to be getting to those rock slides a lot faster, especially if you're able to sneak in a Thundershock here and there. So if you're met with a Melmetal lead, I have seen them. They're not incredibly common just because a lot of people like to run Obstagoon in the lead. You see a lot of Swampert leads as well. So yeah, you'll want to be safe swapping into your Umbreon. If you're met with a Giratina altered lead, which is very, very possible, guys, what you'll want to do is Brave Bird and dip, and then go into your Umbreon. So again, a very strong team. As you can see, it's quite a bit above 500. It's coming in at 583. That means a lot of people are winning it, and it says that 1.5% of people are using this team. So that's quite high, guys. So yeah, this is a very strong team as well. Not quite as strong as the first team, and that's just because Abomasnow, it can it does pretty well. It loses to Cresselia, it loses to Obstagoon, of course, but you want to have Abomasnow for those Giratina altereds. You do see Swampert occasionally. Abomasnow does have a really good matchup up against Swampert, but it doesn't do so well up against Alolan Muck, which these days are running Poison Jab. So that's might be why it's not quite as ranked quite as high as the first team, but still a very, very good team nonetheless, guys. So yet another strong team, all XLs of course, but you know, hopefully you guys have been investing in the right XLs for the Ultra League. So you know, these, if you're seeing a trend here, these are the XLs. If you're still working on building some XLs for the Ultra League, you might want to notice the trends here. Talonflame, Umbreon, Abomasnow. Those are the types of XLs that you'll want to be investing in, guys, to have the best success in the Open Ultra League. Jellicent, also another very, very good XL to invest in. Ferrothorn, Stunfisk, as you can see in team number 3 there. Those are a bit harder to come by. They're just very rare. So don't sweat it. Speaking of which, as we get to the third team here, which is Surfetched, Ferrothorn, and Stunfisk, still have a very respectable rating at 566. You still have quite a bit of people running this team as well. So yeah, this team runs Surfetched in the lead, running Counter, Leaf Blade, and Night Slash. And Ferrothorn and Stunfisk running the conventional movesets. You will want to have Flash Cannon if you happen to have a XL Ferrothorn. I know not a lot of people have it. Again, it's just a very rare spawn, and if you're walking it, I think that's a 5-kilometer walk, so very hard to come by. But if you are lucky enough to have one, I don't have one. I don't, believe it or not, guys, I don't have a G-Fisk or a Ferrothorn, so I would not be running this team. But if you do have those, this is a decent team to consider running, because with Surfetched, you have a lot of coverage over the Open Ultra League meta, guys. There isn't a whole lot that can run from a Surfetched with this moveset of Counter, Leaf Blade, and Night Slash. If you run into a Swampert, forget about it, guys. One Leaf Blade one-shots a Swampert. And then you've got Night Slash for those Giratina Alters, the Cresselias of the world, you know. A lot of very good coverage with this moveset. And of course, that is the conventional moveset. Every now and then you'll get a Brave Bird on your Surfetched, which is nice for some surprise factor. I mean, you're going to be one-shotting a lot of things. Surfetched hits like an absolute truck, but for the most consistency, you will be wanting to run Leaf Blade and Night Slash as your charge attacks, guys. So with this team, there's not a whole lot of lead losses that you'll see outside of maybe a Giratina Altered, particularly when it's running Dragon Breath, which I saw a lot come on the scene toward the tail end of Ultra League last season. I was running into a lot of Dragon Breath Giratinas, and that's just for those Obstagoon leads that people like to run. So if you're met with a Giratina lead, you're going to want to safe swap into Stunfisk, guys, because if we head back over to the other tab and we check out the rankings for safe swaps or switches, you're going to see Stunfisk, the #1 safe switch statistically in the Ultra League, guys. So, having those two Mons in the back, you're going to be wanting to safe swap into your Stunfisk and hopefully blow through some shields with some Earthquake nukes. There's not a whole lot that can run from a G-Fisk. The most common, counter users, I guess you can say, will be Shadow Machamp and Obstagoon. And in which that case, Surfetch will absolutely blow through an Obstagoon if they come in on your Stunfisk, and you can look to clean up the end game with your Ferrothorn. Of course, running that Flash Cannon nuke, there's a lot that you can hit pretty hard. So yeah, this is a very, very high functioning team, as you can see here, guys, with having Stunfisk be the #1 safe swap option in the Ultra League. So if you were lucky enough to have those very expensive and exclusive XLs of Ferrothorn and Stunfisk, you might have a good team on your hands here, guys. So yeah, a very fun team there. And of course, having two steals in the back, you're going to have some very, very good coverage for those Chrysalias. Ferrothorn is an absolute wall to Chrysalia, and you'll be able to easily whittle it away. I know Chrysalia is very, very tanky, very annoying to deal with. It has very good charge moves, but Ferrothorn in the back just absolutely walls it. It resists all of the charge attacks. It's resisting the fast move of Psycho Cut, and you'll be able to hit it pretty hard with some nice stab charge moves, that being Flash Cannon and Power Whip. So very, very good, consistent, safe team to run if you're looking to rack up the wins and really look to rank up in the Ultra League, guys. So yeah, that's the third team. Let's have a look at the fourth team. Team number 5, guys. That being Jellicent lead, running Hex, Bubble Beam, and Shadow Ball, with Alolan Ninetales and Scrafty in the back, guys. So if you notice that 0.5% to the far right, so that's a bit of an outlier, guys. That means that, maybe one person was having a lot of success with this team. I did run a lot of Jellicent lead last season with great success. Jellicent is a very solid lead for the Open Ultra League, guys. You just want to be, just with all those Obstagoons out there, you just want to be a little bit careful. And that's why you have Alolan Ninetales and Scrafty in the back. Scrafty has a pretty dominant matchup up against Obstagoon. So if you're met with that, you've got two answers to it in the back. And as we can see here, what was I doing? Yeah, overall. So we want to look at Alolan Ninetales here. And as you can see, it does have a very good matchup up against Obstagoon. It has a very dominant win up against Obstagoon just because it's got so much more bulk as an XL in the Ultra League. It's such an OP. I know it got nerfed with the Weather Ball nerf, but it's still gonna absolutely dominate. So if you happen to have an Alolan Ninetales, I don't have one. It's a funny story, guys. I actually was working on a good one. It was pretty highly ranked. I think it was in the top 50, and I actually deleted it. So I've been hatching 7K eggs hoping to get a good IV one since then, and that was a little while back. I was so annoyed with myself. I was just on autopilot, going through my, just clearing some space, and I deleted it. Would you believe that? I deleted it. So sad, but that's okay. I didn't lose all the, obviously you don't lose all the candies that you build up, but that was very frustrating. So that is a quick little side note. But if you are not as absent-minded as I am, and you managed to hang on to your Alolan Ninetales and you did not delete it like I did, you've got a good Pokemon for the Ultra League, guys. It's just got so many dominant matchups. It does lose to Swampert, loses to Cresselia, which is kind of crazy. What doesn't lose to Cresselia these days, I guess. Right, guys? But yeah, you've got winning matchups up against Togekiss, Obstagoon, Giratina, of course. So, let me see. Let's go back here and have a look. So, yeah, Alola Ninetales is going to be the safe swap on this team, guys. It doesn't look like a lot of people have used this team. It looks like usually when you see it below 1%, that means 1 or 2 people have had success with it. But it does look like a very good team comp, guys. So, yeah, the only hard lead loss that you'll have running Jellicent in the lead would be Obstagoon, in which you've got 2 Mons in the back that can absolutely deal with Obstagoon. And you may run into an occasional Cresselia in the lead. I have seen that. In that case, you'll have to do some tactical maneuvering. You'll want to still come in with Alola Ninetales, and Scrafty does have an okay matchup against Cresselia. It is very close, but Scrafty can pull it out if you manage your shields good enough. So, what else could Jellicent lose to? Dragon Breath, Giratina would be a problem as well. In that case, you'll want to probably safe swap into, you'll still want to go into A9, Alola Ninetales. I think in pretty much every scenario, lead loss, you will want to be safe swapping into Alola Ninetales. Just looking at this team comp, guys. Very strong team, very powerful team. I do have an XL Jellicent. I've also got an XL Scrafty. I just don't quite have an XL Alola Ninetales. Thinking of a good replacement for XL A9, there isn't very much. Maybe an Abomasnow, but you don't quite have the same coverages. That being Obstagoon. So if you're missing Alola Ninetales, that's a key piece to this team. And if you don't have that, I probably wouldn't recommend running it. But if you do, you're in luck, guys, because this looks like a very strong team. And that brings us to the number 5 team. We're going to skip that one. We're going to go right into Alolan Muck, Jellicent, and Registeel, guys. The reason why I'm skipping that one is because we kind of went through that one. It's very much the same as the number 1 team. The only difference is you're swapping out Talonflame for G-Fisk, and which is kind of crazy because this actually looks like a stronger team. Maybe because the Machamp is not Shadow for that one, but very similar to the first one. We're going to look at Alolan Muck, Jellicent, and Registeel. So with this team, it recommends running Snarl, Dark Pulse, and Sludge Wave, which I agree with as a lead. If you were going to safe swap Alolan Muck, I kind of like the Poison Jab, Poison Acid Spray, and Dark Pulse, but in the lead, you're going to win a lot of decent leads, particularly if it is a Cresselia lead or a Giratina altered lead. So, Obstagoon would give this lead some problems. In that case, you'll want to go into your safe swap. But what was I doing here? Alolan Muck. Alolan, if I can spell here. There we go. Alolan Muck running Snarl, Dark Pulse, and Gunk Shot. That's interesting. I don't often recommend running Gunk Shot in the Ultra League. I mean, you could. It's going to hit a little bit harder than Sludge Wave, but it's going to take you 1 extra Snarl to get to, I believe, and I don't think it's quite worth it. Sludge Wave still gets stabbed, and you'll get to it a lot faster. So yeah, you're going to be winning lead if you run into a Giratina or a Cresselia. You're going to be beating Melmetal in the lead. You will be losing, like I said, to Obstagoon, as you can see here. You're, of course, going to be losing to Swampert. You do see an occasional Lapras or an Articuno. I haven't seen too many in the lead, but Articuno is a pretty common lead, in which, let's go back to the list here. Looks like Jellicent's going to be your safe swap on this team, guys. So if you're met with a bad lead, you want to safe swap. See, if you run into Obstagoon, Obstagoon is a big problem for this team. I'm not going to lie, guys. just having a closer look at it, Obstagoon beats all 3 of these Pokemon. So it's going to take a team effort if you decide to run this team. It does have a high win rate. Of course, Obstagoon can't do it all, guys. So you can chip away. So if you run into an Obstagoon lead, which is very, very likely, Obstagoon is a very popular lead in the Open Ultra League. What you'll want to do is try and get off one Sludge Wave, and then maybe a couple. If they let one through, you can maybe go into your Registeel and try and get off a Flash Cannon. That would be the way that I would approach it. But you're going to be having a lot of good winning leads in this with this team comp, guys. If you met with a Swampert, try and get off a Dark Pulse and then dip into your Jellicent. That would be what I would do. But very interesting team. Very interesting team. It does have some common weaknesses, but that can be overcome with the right strategy, the right tactical maneuvering. You can overcome those challenges. So yeah, guys, those are the top 5 teams for the Open Ultra League, guys. Open Ultra League is right around the corner. What is it, Friday? Yeah, we've got a few more days of Great League and Great League Remix, and then we've got the Ultra League and Ultra League Remix. So I'm going to keep keeping an eye out for the Ultra League Remix to populate. That probably won't be until maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, so be on the lookout for that. That gives PV Poke enough time to run the sims and get the rankings out for that. But yeah, these are the teams, guys. If you let me know in the comments if you agree with PV Poke's analysis here. A lot of interesting teams. A lot of these are really good and should set you up for some good success, guys. So let me know in the comments. We'll leave it there for now. As always, guys, I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.